Hey, Munaf, thank you so much for joining in. Munaf is an Inc. fellow from 2018 and he used to run the Bori Kitchen. So, Munaf, what have you been up to?
So multiple things with Pasha. The Bori kitchen is back on its feet. So we managed to get it started again, and really hopeful that it will stay on its feet this time around. Um, Second, my wife and I have co-authored a book called "How I Quit Google to Sell Samosas," which got published this year by HarperCollins. And the third one is now I head the digital business for McDonald's India, Hardcastle, which is basically the master franchise of McDonald's in West and South India. And I look after their entire delivery business and any other e-commerce driven business that they have.
Awesome. So, how was life before you were an Inc. fellow, and how is life after you've been an Inc. fellow?
So before I was an Ink Fellow, which is pre 2018, um, I was still very much, you could say, in my, it was the middle of my entrepreneurial journey. I was still figuring things out. How does the delivery business work? I was setting up my first kitchen. And I was going through this phenomenal struggle with the job itself, with the work itself, at the same time with the personal struggle of just having quit this illustrious, stable, clear job at Google and trying to sell samosas for a living and not doing too well at it. Post the Ink Fellowship, I actually began this journey where I raised funds successfully, and I just became a lot more mature and stable as an individual, where I was able to segregate my sense of self from what is happening with my business. And that was an incredibly important sort of switch that I made in my life because it allowed me to be more productive at my work, but then disconnect from my work and focus on myself and realize that personal growth is a lot more than just what you do professionally.
Hmm. We also have an initiative called Inkwell, and the idea of Inkwell is to look at well-being of fellows, right? And so, what has been keeping you well right now?
So mental health has become a very large focus area of mine. One of the biggest things I learned. So a lot of people ask me this question that Munaf, what's the one thing you would tell your younger self? If you could go back in time. I think that one thing would be that, hey, work on your mental health from an early stage in life. So
Hmm.
work on things like meditation, work on your personal relationships, building them and nurturing them, and work on identifying what actually makes you happy beyond professional work. Because one of the hardest things I faced in the last 5 7 years, and I continue to face today, is just struggling with my mental well-being. So how have I, addressed it to whatever extent I have is one, seeing a therapist for sure, seeing a counselor. That's been very good for me. It took me some time to find the right person that made it work for me. And on and off, I talk to her, and it's helped me kind of come to terms with what I'm going through and just acknowledge it and accept it. Another thing that's helped is just having a network of people I can talk to about what I'm facing, whether it's my own family, or whether it's a team that I work with, or it's a community like Inc. Where I know that there are so many other people. The minute I tell them I'm going through this, they're like, "Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying because they've been there already," and
Hmm.
that's just very powerful.
Hmm. Tell us some of the things that have happened to you with the Ink Fellowship.
Um, I think one of the coolest things that happened to me with the Ink Fellowship is I've been fortunate to have been invited to a lot of, sort of opportunities where I make presentations on a stage and I talk about the Bori kitchen or my journey, etc. But in the Ink Fellowship, um, you guys pushed me to pursue a theme which wasn't directly connected to the Bori kitchen. And I got an opportunity to talk about the second biggest passion I have, which is creating a community of home dining experiences, okay, called the Airbnb of home dining experiences. So that was one really cool thing where right from the get-go, I realized that this community and this association is going to be different. It's not about the business and your entrepreneurial journey, but it's about your creativity and your out of box sort of thought process that I will leverage the Ink platform to showcase. So that was one of my biggest sort of the benefits that I took away from your program.
Hmm. If one were to apply for the Inc. Fellowship, what do you think one can expect?
So, in terms of the application itself, be ready to be brutally honest. Okay, be ready to. The idea isn't to brag about yourself, but instead to be honest with what you've done in life and how you think you can add value to the community. So it's very different, from many of the other applications for these um, lists which rate or rank the top entrepreneurs. Those are, I feel, at some point done more on success, whereas the Inc. Fellowship is more about people who will just add value to the community. They will give back. They will share ideas. They will soundboard. They will give perspective to the community. So that should come through your application. And if you get in, um, be ready to suddenly find yourself surrounded by people who you might never have thought even existed, doing amazing things which you didn't think were possible.
Hmm. Tell me more about two people in the Inc. community who've inspired your journey.
So my journey has been one could say that my journey began sort of post my MBA when I got my first job at Wrigley's selling gum way back in 2011. And within 3 months, one of my first light bulb moments happened when I realized that I wasn't all that excited about selling gum. So then I pursued an opportunity at Google. I managed to convert it, and I took an enormous pay cut, but to shift my career trajectory, and that paid off. And in my 4 years at Google, I again grew exponentially, and I got to really learn a lot and grow a lot as a professional in terms of self-esteem and skills, and even financially in terms of what I could actually earn. And then the Bori Kitchen happened. In my last year at Google, I had this idea. I pursued it. And again, I took a significant career shift by quitting Google to make this a full-time role. And then it's been a roller coaster ride at the Bori Kitchen. Went through bankruptcy, went through panic attacks, went through fundraising, went through bankruptcy again because of the pandemic and other factors. And that's kind of where I am today, where I've just managed to get it back on its feet, me and the team, Kader and my wife. And today I'm at this stage where I've realized that entrepreneurship isn't necessarily the Bori kitchen. It's a mindset. It doesn't have to be you setting up shop. It could even be running a shop or being part of a shop, but being an entrepreneur in that space. And that's what's happened to me with my current job at McDonald's, where I'm an entrepreneur in the business. I wasn't even looking for the job, but when the leadership told me that they're looking for an entrepreneur to build a startup within McDonald's, I was sold. It just made sense to me. So that's kind of what my journey has been, and I'm just incredibly fortunate to I've been lucky. A lot of people, especially today, are going through some really difficult times in terms of employment, in terms of this opportunity. I have been really lucky that I've had people around me that have helped me when I needed help.
Great. That still doesn't answer the question. Tell me about two people who've inspired,
Okay.
two people that you've met at Inc. who've kind of like just sparked you up.
Okay. All right. I missed that. Sorry. So two people who have inspired me at Inc. There are so many people. Um, I would say so. One is Lakshmi herself. Okay. I absolutely love how she kind of conceptualized, came up with the idea of Ink, and then managed to rally an entire community around it uh, uh, without any aggressive branding budgets or visibility spends. Literally, the brand Ink is built on the community that it's attracted, and then that community feeds the brand and it creates brand equity. I just love how Lakshmi pulled that off. And when you meet her as an individual, when you talk to her, you interact with her, the multiple catch-ups I've had with her, it just she exudes a certain energy that I feel like she comes from this pool of infinite energy, So I love that, and that just inspires me and motivates me that at whatever stage you are in life, you can do something like that. So that's really cool. There is no second, third, fourth person because there are multiple people. There is there's so many people like Sandeep himself. The kind of respect he garners in the community as an F&B professional, based in the South, the way he set up his restaurants, the way he's dealing with the pandemic. I mean, it blows my mind that Sandeep is going through one of the hardest times that anyone is going through right now because the pandemic has hit F&B the hardest. But he proactively reached out to me to ask me, hey, how are you? Is everything all right?
Mm.
That is kind of, he represents what most of us fellows are like, in the sense that we really have tremendous empathy for each other.
Hmm. Interesting. You talk to us a little bit more about the ink community, and how does the community interact with each other? How do they come together? What have you received from the community? What have you contributed to the community? Because one of the things that's also important for us is that the fellowship is a very unique program in the sense that it's not just important for you to be a part of it. It naturally comes to you to also host other people, give back to the community, help someone else in need. Because it's very interesting because everybody is on a trajectory, and those points in the trajectory, those points in the journey meet somebody else at some point in life, right? You're like, okay, maybe I'm on step number 3, but I know that I've been on step number 1 and somebody else is on step number 1, so how can I contribute back to their journey? So talk to us a little bit more about the entire fellowship community itself. What is the spirit, what is the ethos of the community, and what part of it
Absolutely.
really touches you?
So the Ink community for me began with the first Ink conference, the one that, where I presented. That's when I met my batch itself and a lot of the alma mater. And the way that Ink organizes these conferences is in a manner that you end up getting to know each other very intimately. Right? You end up staying awake entire nights, talking to each other, brainstorming, practicing your presentations, and just kind of getting exposed to a lot of creative forces in the form of these leaders in their respective fields who are invited as guest appearances. So all of that just creates this energy of collaboration and of idea sharing and of kind of where everyone just becomes vulnerable to each other, and automatically that allows everyone to bond. That's where it all begins. And then you stay in touch. All right, you stay in touch via WhatsApp groups, you stay in touch via random, video call catch-up sessions. You stay in touch because you had decided to collaborate on a particular project with a particular fellow, and that continues. And then again, the Ink sort of leadership comes back and restructuring that as well, because once a year they set up a gathering. So you always catch up with people again and you renew your contract, literally, of friendship and supporting each other. Yeah, and the other thing that's really cool about the community is you don't have to try too hard. The minute you go in and the minute you share what challenges you're facing, or where you need help, you don't have to really ask for help, because it's one of those things where people are dying to help you. Everyone is just, because everyone's realized there's one golden rule at Ink, which is the community is as powerful as how much you contribute to it. And there's tremendous ROI on that contribution. Um, so yeah, so like it's just, I consider myself immensely lucky to have been part of it. Some ways that I have contributed include trying to actually do a fundraiser. So I run the Bori Kitchen. We used to have these home dining gatherings, experiences. So I actually connected one of those experiences to one of the Ink fellows called Shekhar Naik, who's a phenomenal inspirational story as someone with limited eyesight, who's achieved some great, amazing things in life, and he's set up this sort of training center, so other people who have a similar disability can still try to become cricketers. So I took that cause, I attached it to my concept, and the money that we earned out of that experience, I gave it to him as a contribution. So it's one very tiny thing, but it's till date people talk about how I did that, and you all keep on bringing it up, and that means a lot.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Munaf, for joining us today. And
Of course.
yeah,
So, Vipasha, the book that I just published, How I Quit Google to Sell Samosas, which my wife and I wrote, has been 99% inspired by Varun's book. And when I say that, what do I mean? Years ago, I don't know, was it 6, 10 years ago that I read his book? And I just loved how easy it was to consume that book, how entertaining it was. But none of that simplicity diluted the impact it had on me and how it motivated me to pursue my own venture. So his book did a very big thing in my life in terms of motivating me to be an entrepreneur. But that impact is so like long lasting that when I finally did my own book, we actually made it on the lines of that, in the sense that it has to be that simple. It's not a book which has to be worth 600 rupees and it turns into like a coffee table book, but something that anyone and everyone should just be able to pick up and consume within a couple of hours and move on in life, and take whatever they want to from that. So every single conversation I had with my publisher, my editor, with my wife, who wrote more than half of it, was that, hey, keep that book in mind. That's how we are going to create our own property out of this.
hmm. Did you meet Varun at the Fellows retreat?
I'm sorry.
Did you meet Varun Agarwal at the
Yeah, of
Fellows
course, of
retreat?
course, of course. I spoke to him. He's had multiple conversations with me, even giving me advice on how to market it, on how to promote it, on how to work with an editor, and so on and so forth.
And did you know him before you came to Ink?
I just knew of him.
Oh, you knew of him, but you met him at Ink.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was
Oh
in
my
fact
God,
like I
this is
was,
a really cool story.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yay, awesome. I will send this to Varun actually.